Welcome to my November review. We start the month with Mars in retrograde motion, and he will be doing so until January. So it's a time to plan and work behind the scenes, but also to work with the Mars energy. It's in your 7th house. So it's a time to develop sincerity, compassion within relationships, and a real feel for others. Then on the 1st, we also have a conjunction between Pallas Athena and the Black Moon Lilith. This is a tremendous female energy which has got a rebellious side to it. And this is happening in your 8th house. This is a good ideal time to look at strategy within any groups you belong to, because Pallas gives us the wisdom and the foresight to see patterns within things. And this could help you no end within group situations. Then we also have the effect that this is brilliant for looking after or managing other people's finances, but it's also very good for delving into the psychological side of things, the shadow side, because the Black Moon represents the shadow side in us all. So looking at things in depth and looking at psychological patterns, and also looking into the metaphysical side of life will be beneficial. Between the 2nd and the 7th, there's a lot going on in your 12th house. Now you've got to remember that these planets in the 12th house will move into your sign later on in the month. But for now, it's time to work behind the scenes a little bit more. You'll be teased out by the Moon's North Node, because what we have is a situation where we have the Sun, Venus and Mercury all together in that 12th house. So they want to withdraw, they don't want to be active, they don't want to be involved in things. But we have an opposition to Uranus and the North Node. And all these three make the opposition over the 5 days. So what's happening here is the North Node is trying to tease you out, trying to tempt you to come out of your shell and come back into the mundane, because you want to be in that dreamy state of daydreaming and thinking about pleasant things. But the North Node and Uranus are going to try and pull you right back into the mundane world of the here and now, and you may have to deal with situations that maybe you really don't want to do. It may be a case that you're bored with things and you just really don't want to apply yourself to them, but this will be the case. So maybe that sudden events happen within that 6th house, within your routines, or maybe things in your work that cause you to have to change your plans, but it could be that these things that happen are fated, and they're happening for a reason. You may not know that reason immediately, but as time evolves, you will find out what it was and why you needed to do these certain things. On the 8th, we have a full moon, lunar eclipse, and again this is happening in your 6th house. So this will bring all the drama to a crescendo, to a point of where you maybe shout out, I'm fed up with this, I'm not going to do this anymore, I don't want to do that. There'll be things that you will be unhappy with. And this full moon is going to highlight them with quite a lot of emotion, because it's an eclipse as well. And because you have Uranus conjunct the moon, this is going to heighten the emotional effect, and you may be quite forceful or even dramatic with this eclipse. Now this eclipse belongs to the Sagittarius South series, the same as the one last month in October. So this is a similar feel. It will bring a lot of power and energy which is used in groups, and this will be a work situation for you, because we have the 6th house highlighted here. So it'll be very good for working alongside others and channeling your energy into that. And that's probably the best way to get around this. Try not to think about yourself and your own situation that you're not happy with at this moment in time. Think about how you can help others and use your energy positively in that way. We also have an aspect between Venus and Saturn, which will help you to look into things more deeply and perhaps discover what it is that you're not happy with and what maybe you could do to make it better. A little frustrating day on the 10th as we have a square between the Sun, Mercury and Saturn. Saturn's in that 3rd house communication, so it may be difficult to communicate, especially with authority figures, and maybe that you really don't want to talk to people. Saturn in the 3rd house can be linked with a little mild depression or a certain amount of boredom, mental boredom that makes you feel like you don't really want to do that much. But we also have a good aspect on that day. Venus makes a grand trine with Neptune and the Black Moon Lilith, so this will bring compassion and understanding to the situation. Then on the 13th is a better time to communicate because we have Mercury making that grand trine. Maybe again you may be more compassionate and you may want to talk to or listen to people more than anything. You may not want to talk because Mercury's in that 12th house, but you'll be more understanding, you'll be willing to listen to other people. Then we have also on the 13th unconscious desires, because Venus in the 12th makes that very good aspect to Pluto, which brings intensity and desire and passion, but they'll be coming through from the unconscious because that's where Venus lies at this moment in time. On the 14th, the Sun makes a grand trine. Although the Sun is in that 12th house, it's an ideal opportunity to get in touch with the unconscious side or the shadow side, because we have the Sun making that grand trine with Neptune, who rules the 12th house, and the Black Moon Lilith, who rules the shadow side. So this can be a fantastic opportunity to delve deep within your psyche and maybe discover things about yourself that you didn't really know before. Then on the 15th, we have a coming together of Venus and Mercury. Now to start with, this isn't going to be too bright because they're in that 12th house. But as they travel together on the 19th, they burst through into your sign of Sagittarius, and you will feel the difference as they come out into the open. Until then, it's good to plan and work behind the scenes, and maybe put some new ideas together or bring some positivity, because there is an aspect to Jupiter which will give that feel-good factor, and ready yourself for that 19th when they both burst through into your first house. Then you can start making changes. Then you can start getting on with things and doing what it is you've got to do. Then you can make those necessary adjustments in that 6th house area. Following that, the Sun is going to move in very shortly, so this will give even more impetus to the Sagittarian sign for you. Two positive aspects from the Sun as he comes to the end of that 12th house and the end of Scorpio. He makes a positive aspect to Pluto. Pluto's in that 2nd house, so it's time now to start thinking about the transformations and the changes you want to make in readiness. And also the same with Jupiter. He makes a very positive aspect to Jupiter on the 20th, and this will give a feel-good factor because you're getting right to the end of that sign, and you can ready yourself again so that by the 23rd the Sun will be fully in your sign, and this is a time of celebration. This is a time of great expansion and great growth. It's a double celebration on the 23rd, as we have not only a new moon in your sign at 1 degree, so it's very, very powerful for you Sagittarians, but also your ruler, Jupiter, turns direct and will start going forward, giving impetus to your sign. Now this is great because the new moon means a new you. It's time to reinvent yourself in some way. Change your appearance or change something about yourself that others will see. First house is all about the persona you present to others, so it's a great time to make those changes. And all the things you were fed up with, and the things at the full moon where you weren't happy with, it's time to change all those now. And with the Jupiter going direct, it's a new sense of adventure. Try something new, plan something new, plan a new adventure. You've got 2 weeks to work with this, so make the most of it. On the 25th is an ideal opportunity to start expressing yourself creatively. We have Venus and Mercury making a positive aspect to the healing planet Chiron in the 5th house of creativity and social activities. Now this is great. You can use your past hurts to project yourself, get your voice heard. It can become part of your story, and it's a unique opportunity to express your love in a new and more confident manner. Then on the 26th we have Mars making an aspect to Saturn. Now, this is where we start with Mars being retrograde. And Mars is in that 7th house. Again, it's time to work behind the scenes now. Start putting things together, start putting plans together of how you're going to be using that Mars energy in the new year. And Mercury also makes 2 aspects, one to Mars, one to Saturn over the last couple of days of the month. So again, more time to think about what you're going to do, think about plans, start putting financial plans into play, start using your ideas alongside others, brainstorming to get new things coming alive so that these seeds can start to grow and germinate, and then next year when Mars turns direct, that's when you can put them all into action. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you've enjoyed the November review. If you have, please subscribe, and don't forget to tune in next month for December.